Hey guys, it's David, and I am with my beautiful daughter, Grace. Today she is joining me on my walk, and it is Thursday the 15th of December, and it is a beautiful sunny day in Middle Tennessee. You can see, not a cloud, beautiful shining down, which is what we've known has been behind those clouds all along.
It's just cold.
It is cold. It is for sure cold, isn't it? I'll tell you a little bit before I get started here. Grace is beautiful inside and out, and she is super talented. She knows the word. She knows how to pray. She is a warrior for her daddy and for our family and for anyone that wants her to pray for them. We were walking through the neighborhood across the street from our house and just getting a little exercise in. And I'll start out by telling you I feel extraordinarily good, very strong, stronger than I've been for a while, and just so thankful. But when we were walking, Grace and I were talking about, how old were you when we got Lucy?
So
6 years old? I know Catherine was barely walking.
Yeah.
And my wife came to me and said, we need a dog. And I've researched these golden doodles, and they're great family pets. And so we got one, and her name is Lucy. And I'll never forget, Lucy started out as an inside dog, and she lived a little while in the backyard through the summer and stayed outside. But more and more, she's gotten to be an indoor/outdoor dog. But before we had our fence up, Lucy would sometimes get loose. She didn't just get loose. She ran like she just didn't even want to look back. And I'll never forget one night, she ran off, and I set out to find her. And in a house that's right up the street here from where we're walking, I found her. And I had treats, and I had food, and I had everything to try to lure her to get in my truck. And I got within 5 feet of her, and she ran as fast as she could away from me. And it was so frustrating, because I thought, you're running away from the very person and family that loves you, that wants to take care of every need that you have and just love on you, and you want to run away. And it was so frustrating. And I remember that night when she ran away from me, I went home and I told my wife, I said, I don't think that dog's a pet. I think she's a wild animal, because pets at least want to come to you. And so anyway, I don't know. It reminded me, long story short, I went out and I got her and brought her home, and she's 13 years old now, and so she's calmed down a lot. She's slowing down, and she's a homebody. She loves to just lay at our feet and let us love on her. But all that time when I was chasing her, trying to get her home, it reminded me of a Bible study that I went through at First Baptist Jolton. And it was led by, and you can find this online, a gentleman by the name of Ray Vandalier. He went to Israel and did a video Bible study. He wrote a book called The Mission of Jesus and several others. But in that first book, he talks about the word Redeemer. And he talks about how that was not really even a biblical term in the Old Testament, but it was the way they lived. Back, in Abraham's day, the Israelites, they were nomads. And so they set up camp depending on the food supply, the weather, and in a patriarchal society, there is the leader, and he is responsible for distributing the wealth. He's usually the oldest child in a family of siblings. He's the oldest child, and his job is to make sure that everyone's needs are met. That means if they get out, maybe they're hunting and they get hurt, it's his job to go and get them and restore them back to health. If they have maybe gotten into a bad business transaction and they've lost money or they've lost land. It was his job to go out and make that right. And when that act of service, that act of compassion and strength and all that goes into being the patriarch of the family fell on his shoulders. And it was a huge responsibility, but that responsibility came with a title, and that was he was the Redeemer. He was the one that went and got them and restored them back and restored everything that could be restored. And it just reminded me of Lucy, our dog, when she would run away from me and not want to come to me. And
your job was to be the Redeemer in that situation.
Exactly. So I would get her, and sometimes she'd be gone all day and she'd be hungry and cold or hungry and worn out from the heat. And we brought her in the house and we did everything we could to restore her. Gave her plenty of food and water and lots of love. And so it just reminded me of how many times in my life that God has had all these blessings saying, just come to me. And like an idiot, I would just run away and run away from the only one that could help me. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of a cute correlation between that term Redeemer. If you get a chance to look up that Bible study, it's phenomenal. It's called The Mission of Jesus by Ray Vandelier, and it is superb. So Grace and I have got about another half mile we're going to walk, and we're going to get our day started. And thank y'all for taking the time to listen to this. We love y'all. Thank you for praying.